27, 2024 is hereby called to order. Ms. Carleen, can you please conduct roll call?
Yes, sir. Mr. Brumfield. Mr. Adams. Mr. Perk.
Here.
Mr. Melvin. Mr. Arabi. Chairman Otem.
Here.
Mrs. Chasson. Mr. Lorraine. President Chasson.
Thank you very much, Ms. Carleen. If everyone would please rise, we'll be led in invocation by Councilman Melvin, followed by Pledge of Allegiance by Councilman Adams. All right, we'd like to welcome everyone to tonight's deliberations. I'd like to initially just request that everyone to please put their phones either on silent or turn them off, just out of considerations for the others here. Additionally, I want to remind everyone, if you're interested in addressing the council, there are blue forms at the door you walked in. If you kindly fill one of those out and get it up to our council clerk, we'll be sure to recognize you. In addition to that, as we go through ordinances, I will ask for public input. So you can stand up and talk on any ordinance that you may be interested in. However, once we get to resolutions, it'll only be discussed by the council before it goes to vote. With that said, we'll jump right into tonight's agenda. Item A, approval of minutes. Item one, I'll entertain a motion to accept the minutes of the January 9, 2024 regular session, defer from the January 23, 2024 Lafourche Parish Council meeting. So moved by Councilman Perk, second by Councilman Adams. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion passes with 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 vacancy, that vacancy being District 5. Item 2, motion to accept the minutes of the January 23rd, 2024 regular session. So moved by Councilman Perk, second by Councilman Adams. Any discussion? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion passes 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 vacant seat, that vacancy being District 5. Item 3, I entertain a motion to accept the minutes of the February 8, 2024 special session. So moved by Councilman Adams, second by Councilman Arabi. Any discussion? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Is anyone opposed? Motion passed 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 vacant, that vacancy being District 5. Item B, state and or federal legislative updates. I don't see, we don't have any legislators, none in attendance. Item C, we have none, Ms. Berlin. Brings us to item D, proclamation. Item 4, Parish President Archie Chasson to present a proclamation proclaiming March 2024 as Problem Gambling Awareness Month. Mr. President, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Whereas problem gambling is a treatable public health concern affecting millions of Americans of all ages, races, and ethnic backgrounds in all communities, causing a significant societal and economic cost. And whereas promoting awareness provides individuals in problem gambling communities an opportunity to educate the public and policymakers about the social and financial effectiveness of services available for problem gambling. And whereas the state offers a myriad of services aimed at treating problem gambling and has a toll-free Louisiana Problem Gamblers Help Hotline at 1-877-770-STOP that answers calls for those seeking help, and a website aimed at the prevention of problem gambling at www.helpforgambling.org. And whereas Louisiana is one of the first states to have numerous state-funded programs such as residential treatment facilities, the Center of Recovery, CORE, in Shreveport, and numerous organizations working together within the Louisiana Department of Health and all statewide districts to address problem gambling. And whereas numerous individuals and professionals and organizations have dedicated their efforts to education of the public about the problem of gambling, prevention, and the problem gambling, along with the availability and effectiveness of treatment services. Now, therefore, I, Archie Chasson, Parish President of Lafourche, do hereby proclaim March 2024 as Problem Gambling Awareness Month. There he is. All right.
If you don't mind, just state your name and address for the record, sir. Is the mic on? Yeah, if you don't mind.
Okay. Y'all
Gotcha,
better?
gotcha.
Okay. All right. My name is Jay Mariano. I reside at 123 3rd Street in Houma. I work at River Parish Behavioral Health and also at Lafourche Behavioral Health, and I do the gambling programs at both clinics there. I want to thank y'all for recognizing National Gambling Awareness Month. We are, I've been doing this program now for 20-something years now, I guess. And still a big problem with gambling out there, and it's getting bigger and bigger with your cell phone. You can get in there and actually gamble, not even getting out your bed, you know. So we're looking at, you know, trying to make awareness of this in the community, that we do have treatment available, and that I am at both clinics. If anybody would like to come, we're at not Tiger Drive, we used to be on Tiger. We're on Twin Oaks now, and we appreciate the referrals. If anybody has any problem with gambling, let us know. Appreciate it.
Very good. Thank you, sir. Anyone got any questions, inquiries, problems? Y'all good? Terry's good.
All right.
Thank you, sir. Much appreciated.
All right, you have a great day.
Thank you.
you.
Brings us to item E, Certificate of Recognition. Item 5, Parish that's correct. Parish President Archie Chestnut will present a certificate of recognition to Mr. Norris Morvaunt in celebration of his 100th birthday. Mr. President, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Norris Mouvon was born on February 7th of 1924 in Thibodaux, Louisiana. He enlisted in the Army Air Corps on March 29th of 1943 at the age of 19 and attended basic training in Kansas City, Missouri. He began training as a radio operator, but due to illness was reassigned and deployed to Teddington, England. He was assigned to work in the office of General Dwight D. Eisenhower, the Supreme Allied Commander in Europe. Mr. Norris's French-speaking skills came in handy as he helped the effort with translation duties when bringing messages to units at the front. He was selected to transport 2,500 gallons of gasoline to the troops 3 days in a row as preparations began for the Battle of the Bulge. For his efforts, he received the Bronze Star Medal for General Patton. After serving in Saint-Germain near Paris, then in Wiesbaden, Germany, Mr. Norris returned home to Thibodaux Christmas morning of 1945. Mr. Norris was married to Bernice Gilliot, and they raised 2 sons, Tommy and Larry. Mr. Norris is one of the few remaining veterans that served our country during World War II. Therefore, on this 27th day of February 2024, it is an honor for Lafourche Parish government to recognize Mr. Norris on his 100th birthday. And I will say, then Mayor S.J. and I had the privilege to be with Mr. Norris and his family at the World War II Museum several months ago, and you could see it pinned to his chest when he got the French Legion of Honor from the French ambassador. So, Mr. Norris, congratulations. We're happy you made it to 100, and we wish you many more.
Welcome, Mr. Morvaunt. We're honored to have you in our presence.
I want to address this to the council and also the parish president. Thank you for this honor, and I'll cherish it forever. Thank you so much.
Outstanding. Thank you. All right, very good. Item F, recognition of outstanding accomplishments. Item 6, Parish President Archie Chasson to recognize community action for receiving the recognition from the State Office of CSBG for outstanding accomplishments. Mr. President, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As some of you guys will remember, for years, we've had kind of a tumultuous community action agency, right? Several directors, people in and out. You know, Mr. Jones is here, who served as the liaison for several. We'll get him. Thank you, Mr. Norris. Who served as the council liaison for a lot of years when he was on the council. And just about a week and a half ago, Ms. Ali Crisoni, who's our new director for community action, along with her staff, attended a conference. And for the first time, I think, in the history of our program, we received 100% across the board for our organizational standards. We have been pushing money out the door at a rapid rate, and as you guys have seen on the council agenda for numerous agendas, we've had numerous amendments after amendment because we've got more money, right, because of the good things that Allie and the ladies in that office are doing. So just as a token, and I know a lot of you saw the Facebook post that was put out about this, but we're really proud of them, and we wanted to bring everybody out here tonight, put them on camera and say thank you for all the hard work and congratulations.
Hello, Allie.
Hey. You need me to state my name for the record, sir?
Yes, please.
Okay. Ali Crisoni, 311 4th Street, Lockport, Louisiana, 70374. I just wanted to thank President Archie Chasson, administration, the council for the support over the last year for this fiscal year and, you know, supporting us, getting everything back on track. I want to congratulate my staff, especially. This is a direct reflection of them, and without them, my job would be impossible. So I just really want to give a hand to all these girls. They work hard every single day to service every inch of this parish and the communities, and I just really want to thank them. So thank you guys for the recognition. We really appreciate it, and we are ready to continue doing it throughout this year.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, we'll move on to item G, presentations and our updates. Item 7, Parish President to recognize Lafourche Parish Government Employee of the Month and or WOW employees for the month of January 2024. Mr. President, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is my last one for the night, I promise. This employee could not be with us tonight due to work, but this employee is an extremely hard worker. She goes above and beyond her job duties and is willing to assist anyone in our clinics. She is knowledgeable in all programs that we run, and she is kind and caring to all her coworkers, patients, and anyone who walks through the clinic doors. She's always eager to learn new tasks, and work is hungry for a challenge, and she's a valuable asset once we rebuild the Galliani Health Unit, but at the one that we're in temporary now, as well as the other clinics across the parish. And we'd like to congratulate our Employee of the Month this month, Ms. Angel Vizier.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. President. As we move into presentations, I just want to comment that we do have an extensive upgrade going on with our communications. So that's why you see some of the oddities, and there's a temporary screen up here, which I'll move to the side a little bit once those presentations starts. But just want everyone to be aware of that we are going through some upgrades here. With that said, item 8, Ms. Becky Gautreaux, Parish Chair and Extension Agent for the Lafourche Office of the LSU Ag Center, to present a quarterly report.
Hey, it's good because we don't need those. We still got paper copies. Becky Gautreaux, 115 Texas Street, Raceland. It's the office address. You guys in front of you and that have been emailed to you is our quarterly report. As of October, our office is completely staffed. We hired Sarah Guidry from down the Via, who's amazing educator, to join Miss Suzanne in working for 4-H. And so they're going to talk in a little bit. The last quarter, we had Farm City Day, which about over 500 second graders came to our office. It was a big old collaborative event with all of the people listed, for the second graders to learn where agriculture comes from, how it got to their table, about food, about all of it. There was even tractors and drones, and it was very well represented. Fisheries, our fisheries agent Haley has been working together with different organizations around, as well as the Acadian Wetland Cultural Center. She did a Wetlands Day. Christy Monnier and myself have been painting more sidewalks around the parish to activity stencils in Bayou Blue and Lockport Head Starts. Community Action has been amazing to work with, as well as teaching nutrition programs in different schools and putting up hydration posters in a lot of sheriff's department offices. And then they're going to talk about 4-H. And you also have the state annual report in front of you as well, hard copy.
Good evening, Suzanne Troxclair, LSU Ag Center, 115 Texas Street, Raceland. We just want to thank you for your support. We have 4-H in all of our public and Catholic schools in Lafourche Parish, as well as e-learning, our VAL schools, and BCA. So thank you for your support, your ongoing support of all of our almost 900 members. 4-H is very active and a very traditional program in Lafourche Parish, and we're very proud of that. We stand here as alums of that program in this parish, so we know the importance of 4-H for the development of our youth. And we're happy to have, as Ms. Becky said, Ms. Sarah Guidry with us as well.
Thank you.
Very good. Now, I wish the fisheries agent had been here. I'm just curious to know how things are going with crawfish. I know that most of the farmers in the parish are just starting to kind of test bait. They're doing testing, and just curious to see how that's going. I know it's been a challenge for them.
It's slow. Sorry. It's a slower start this year. They didn't think that it was going to be as plentiful later on, but with the drought and everything, it's just a lot slower. But yeah, she wishes she can be here, but she's actually at a program.
Yeah, so many people don't realize the extension agents can go out and help assist, all the private fishermen. Oddly enough, many of them don't participate, and I don't understand why they don't engage, but it makes no sense to me, but anyway.
She's doing an impeccable job. Down this bayou, all the Terrebonne bayous, because she does work both parishes as well, but just captivating every single one of those people.
Excellent. Anyone have any questions?
I do.
What's up?
Your lights not working?
Yeah, I see your little brochure. We have something about the fisheries industry. As you know, things work in strange ways. What I mean by that is the shrimping industry is almost a thing of the past. It's getting close. You don't see all these big, beautiful boats down the bayou like you used to see, and even in Central. They're not there anymore. They can't make it. But it's so strange that the crawfish season is so high, not too many people are gonna afford to buy them. So guess what they're gonna turn to?
Shrimp.
To the shrimp on the dock side at a fair price, cheaper than pork chops, I can tell you that.
Right.
Okay, or a steak or whatever.
It's true.
But it's just strange how things work out.
Right.
And everybody loves crawfish, I'm pretty sure. When I was a little boy, and that was a few years ago, used to catch all we wanted. You go after rain and pick up whatever you wanted, but that's all gone.
Right.
And I'm thinking about these shrimp. I'm thinking about these oystermen. Oystermen are losing the restoration, the coastline, everything. And so it was just a thought that I think the shrimpers, that the few that they have left that are selling on the side of the road, some come to Central, some mostly dockside, they're gonna sell maybe a good bit of shrimp versus the crawfish. Nothing against the crawfish farmers now. Of course, I see they want federal help, in which the shrimpers should have got that a long time ago, but one day. So thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I always like to say the story, because you probably remember the fisheries agent, Mr. Alan Mathern.
Yeah.
But he's a guy that taught me in the 80s to get out the shipyard and go to college and I majored in marine biology. But that's when the soft shell crabs were really taking off. It was something you and LSU extension agents were heavily involved in getting that market to take off. So they offer some wonderful services.
Mr. Allen did a great job, and he
Yeah.
took care of a lot of things. In fact, one thing he did, he taught Orman.
That's right.
That was a good one. Okay?
He did good. Thank you, Aldo. Much appreciated.
Welcome. Absolutely.
That said, brings us to item 9, Mr. Cody Gray, President and CEO of Louisiana's Cajun Bayou Tourism, to present an annual report. Cody, you have the floor, sir.
Always have to adjust this for the height. Cody Gray, 4484 LA Highway 1, Raceland. Good evening, council members. It's always a pleasure this time of year to come and present the 2023 annual report for the Lafourche Parish Tourist Commission, better known as Louisiana's Cajun Bayou Tourism. In front of you, you have a copy of our 2023 annual report. Before I jump into that this evening, though, I would like to note that we have some very special people joining us here this evening. Behind me is members of our board of directors, our officers and our members, as well as our staff that works tirelessly behind the scenes to champion Lafourche Parish throughout the year, and a lot of this is a credit to our board and to our team. So with that, I'm trying to beat my record from last year, so we're going to go through this fairly quickly because I know y'all have a packed agenda. So with that, Louisiana's Cajun Bayou Tourism remains committed to being a destination that fulfills its brand promise. Our goal, of course, is to attract visitation to Lafourche Parish by promoting our authentic Cajun communities, culture, food, attractions, and our festivals and events. We continue to deliver on that promise through our marketing, sales, public relations, and our visitor services programs. In front of you, we'll start with our marketing and sales outreach. During 2023, our public relations efforts generated over 80 million media impressions and featured stories in Smithsonian, Forbes, The Globe and Mail, and HGTV. Our digital advertising generated over 12 million digital impressions, which was executed through a robust media plan comprising of print, digital, TV, social media advertising, and those results, of course, increased in our website traffic, visitor guide downloads, and email newsletter subscribers. We also continued our award-winning marketing campaign titled You Gotta Try This, showcasing the unique and authentic culinary culture of the Lafourche Parish, and of course, everything that visitors have to try while visiting. Additionally, we relaunched our Cajun Bayou Food Trail, which features 18 different restaurants that span up and down the bayou, our all-new map and passport, t-shirts, and of course, all that generated over 1,400 meals in the parish, and those are just the ones that were reported to us April through December. Furthermore, we successfully completed year 2 of our Acadian to Cajun partnership by taking Lafourche Parish to the Acadian regions of Nova Scotia and highlighted our 2 destinations through in-person outreach and strategic media placements. Under our projects and events in 2023, we administered the Tourism Investment Program, which awarded over $50,000 in grant funding to foster the development of new projects and new events in Lafourche. We also took Lafourche Parish to Dallas, Texas to promote our culinary scene in the Louisiana Goes Lone Star Culinary Trails program. We welcomed for the first time the All-Stars Southern Skate Showdown Roller Derby Tournament to Thibodaux, which actually just happened again this past weekend. Last year, it generated over 400 room nights and substantial economic impact to our businesses and our partners. And during the year, we continued working on our wayfinding signage system, Phase 2, which is a comprehensive signage system directing to public tourism offerings in the parish. We plan for construction and implementation to begin in 2024. Lastly, our team has been hard at work meeting with tour operators, attending various trade shows and industry conferences, hosting groups and journalists, and our travel counselors provide area information from our temporary visitor center as we finalized plans for the rebuilding of our permanent center. Looking at our hotel occupancy, and these numbers are compared to 2019, which was the last normal year before COVID. Occupancy in the parish grew 29%, hotel revenue increased 62%, the average daily rate at our hotels increased 33%, and our revenue per available rooms increased 70%. 2023 marked a return to normalcy in travel and demand. Much of these increases are due to area festivals and events, pent-up travel demand, Mardi Gras, group and travel business, and various sporting events. Louisiana's Cajun Bayou Tourism was also very humbled to receive 2 awards last year, one from the Louisiana Travel Association for Campaign Promotion of the Year for Acadian to Cajun, and the Shining Example Award from the Southeast Tourism Society for Best Marketing You Gotta Try This campaign. So how does all of this affect Lafourche Parish's economy? Tourism generates $87 million in visitor spending, $10 million in state and local taxes. It supports over 1,000 jobs, and it saves each household $277 in taxes each year. That places Lafourche Parish as the 16th largest visitor economy in the state. Louisiana's Cajun Bayou Tourism remains committed to our parish, our partners, and our community as we continue to move in a positive direction. I would also like to sincerely thank the council, our parish president, our parish administrator, and the Lafourche Parish government team for supporting tourism, our organization, our signage project, and the rebuild of our visitor center. We look forward to continuing to work hand in hand so that together we can continue to position Lafourche Parish as a year-round tourism destination while enhancing the lives of all Lafourche Parish residents. Thank you.
Very good. I want to thank you for continuing to advocate for the people of Lafourche, certainly. And also on a side note, I want to thank you. Middle of last year, I reached out to Cody and gave me contacts, points of places to hit in Nova Scotia. Unfortunately, when Nikki and I, as we were approaching our ferry ride, it got canceled because they were being hit by a hurricane at the same time.
Yeah.
So we went west. So I don't know if you need some kind of ambassadors from Lafourche to Nova Scotia this year, let me know. I'm more than willing to travel again.
No, we do plan to take Lafourche back up there again this year for the Congrès Mondial Acadien, which is the World Acadian Congress. It only happens every 4 years. It's the largest gathering on the planet of Acadians. So we certainly plan to. We'll be in touch.
Yeah, please do. Send me that information.
Absolutely.
Go ahead, Daniel.
Yes, thank you for your report. COVID wasn't good, okay? But Ida destroyed 2 hotels on 3235. Bayou Inn is completely gone. So your revenues, if those were still here, your revenues would be a lot better.
They would be.
I think.
They would be.
And then when COVID hit, they were using those 2 hotels by Walmart with the oil field industry. They had to, that's why they were being used.
Yeah, that was,
They
I
had
mean,
to
that's
house
the
them
same
there
as-
before they could go offshore and whatever.
Yeah.
But those 2 that were standing aren't there anymore.
Correct.
So you look at those 2 and the Bayou Inn and the Leeville one, I don't know if it's in operation or not. it might be very little.
No,
I'm not
there's-
quite sure.
There's a few RV parks and cabins, campgrounds, that sort of thing, and then, of course, you've got the Holiday Inn Express reopened, the Candlewood, and the
Right.
Fairfield. So those are,
But
they
also,
stay booked.
at your place under 90,
Yes.
let them know that the fishing pier is about to get into operation in
Yes.
Leeville. That attracts a lot of tourists.
It certainly does. It
And
certainly does.
Just let them know, because it's coming.
We'll be happy to do it. I know we've had some inquire about it through our office. If that's being rebuilt, we tell them it's coming. And I know that is still there. The boat launch is also used equally as much.
I'm gonna tell you, I found something out the other day by talking to a guy, he's a Uber driver, whatever, cab, and he says, you can't imagine the people that he picks up at the South Lafourche Airport to bring them to a location to go fishing. Everybody wants to go fishing, and everybody wants to see an alligator,
That's right.
you know?
And
So-
fortunately, we can deliver on both of those.
But thank you for your service and your board, and
Thank
keep
you.
up the good work.
We appreciate the support. Thank you.
Thank you, Cody.
Thanks, sir.
Appreciate it. Brings us to item 10, Mr. Wayne Gautreaux, General Manager of the Lafourche Parish Water District Number 1, to present an annual report. You have the mic, Wayne.
Good evening, Wayne Gautreaux, Lafourche Parish Water District Number 1. I'm the General Manager of 1219 Crescent Avenue, Lockport. Here to present our report for 2023. It was a good year, as you know, with the drought. We produced almost 3.8 billion, with a B, gallons of water, which was an increase of almost 500 million gallons a day from 2022. So the drought does make a difference when you're in the water business. Now, before everybody gets excited about the sales and all that, our chemical costs, everything is inflated with it. So, but anyway, we did produce a lot of water for the year. Fouchon continues to be our biggest export user, our biggest user in the parish. We finally got it back up over 1 million gallons a day, which is about 250,000 gallons more a day for the year, which is good. That's our golden goose, at the end of the parish. We had 33,118 customers at the end of the year, which is an increase of about 200 customers from 2022. It's getting us close back to where we were for Hurricane Ida before it hit. So the customer base is still continuing to grow, obviously, mostly toward the north end of the parish from what we're seeing. So it's always good that our customer base is increasing. We have 67 full-time employees, and along with our purification administration and our board. Some of the projects we were able to complete, y'all all have a list of the full list of the projects. If there's any specific one you want to call later or whatever, we can go over them. Waterline projects completed. We installed about 14,212 feet of 8-inch line for about $1,200,000 worth of work. We did have some work provided to us for a grant through the state that they issue every year. This year, we provided water line for Fairway Drive in Thibodeau, in the Country Club subdivision. Our non-water line projects completed. There's 11 of them completed for $2.1 million worth of work. To highlight those, the project number 1, the South Plant generators upgrade for $223,000, and our backup chlorine solution pump and removal of our office. Those were all related to Hurricane Ida. We continue to know what went wrong and what went right for the hurricane. This allows us to bring in generators from anywhere and instantly hook them up. We don't have to run wires. There's quick connects and all that, so if something happens where our main generators go down, we were able to bring in other generators to back up our backups. Our next list of projects is projects under construction. There's 5 projects under construction. The big one out of this group, for those that are down the bayou, if you're passing on 3235 right now, you see we got about 32,000 feet of 18-inch water line strung out along 3235. That's gonna basically take us from the Golden Motors to Galliano, where the airport road connector road's at. This closes in a gap of 18-inch line that we've been installing for 20 years now. That once this is complete, is going to close the gap, so we'll have a continuous 18-inch water line from our plant all the way to Fouchon. Gives us some redundancy on both sides of the highway. Some of the older lines and all that we're having problems with, the bigger line gives us some redundancy. Non-water line projects under construction. We're building a new permanganate building at our north plant, and the big one on this one is our Hurricane Ida Leeville booster station, replacement of our Leeville booster station that was destroyed for the hurricane. Finally got everything approved through FEMA and all that. That's under construction right now. We're hoping by the end of summer to have that in place. To wrap up FEMA, we're down to basically 2 projects. So we've been lucky. We've been able to get most of our money that we've been looking for, and we've been able to mostly wrap up most of our projects without too much headaches. Finally, the 2 big projects under design, the Valentine Bridges. I know, Noonan, you're always asking about that at the meetings. I watch the meetings. Just to let you know, it's gonna take us about 6 months to do the water line work we're gonna have to do. Tory submitted drawings. They kicked them back to us. They pulled the project. They don't even have a start date again. It's
They
supposed
just
to be this
finished the
year.
fiber, they just did the fiber optic like
Right.
2 weeks ago, finally.
Yeah, so that project is on hold. We do have some capital outlay money to run some water line in the Kramer area. We're just waiting for approval from the state on some plans and all that. We had to make a few adjustments to the plans, so hopefully in the next few months, we'll be bidding that section out. Finally, the non-water line projects. The big project is gonna be our new office. We just acquired a piece of property on the side of our plant. That's gonna get the office off the road. Noni can appreciate that too. I know he's on the first responders, always calling out there on the site because of the traffic we have. The new office is gonna be built off the road. We hope to get plans and specifications and hopefully by the end of the year, we'll be bidding that, if not sooner. And the last thing we have is our North Plant expansion. If you look on the agenda later on, we have the bond issue that's coming up. We'll be adding about half the size of the expansion of our North Plant water growth at, so some for future development stuff. So, any questions?
Mr. Lorraine,
The gap we're talking about, that's been in the making a long time, huh? From Golden Motors to the airport road.
Yeah,
It's
yes.
been in the making, you're
Yeah.
finally getting it done. All the businesses that we develop on the west side, you know, had to bore through 32, 35 to give them water, right? They want in that area,
Right, right.
okay? So that's being taken care of. Okay. Project on East 53rd, that extension of, from the end of the street, whatever.
Right.
To the last house, that's gonna get
Yeah,
done?
so that project should be starting this week, material being delivered, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you said the bond issue. I really think your bond issue is gonna pass because it's a renewal. But there's not a lot of happy people out there. And
For which
what
one?
happens if it doesn't pass? Are you
For the
gonna have to
past,
charge
so
more
right
money?
now, the millage, we collect is 3.57 mils.
Right.
We collect, should be around 3 million, but lately it's been about 2.6, 2.7. So we're going for a renewal. I didn't want to bring it out, I know we got it later on in the meeting, but I can discuss it now. So the millage doesn't pass, it's just a renewal, so we ask for everyone's support. If the millage doesn't pass, you're looking at about an increase of $7.50 per customer to make up the difference from the millage. You know, we use that to offset our expenses. Our rates are probably one of the cheapest in the area. I mean, we have a millage that goes with it. But yeah, that's, our rates are cheaper, and we're able to keep our rates down because of the millage, so.
I really think it's gonna pass, but you never know. Voters are very strange in today's world. And, one more thing, and I don't wanna get ugly, is how much have we collected on the $16.50 on your water bill?
Okay, so, for the month, so we started billing January 1st, so not every cycle was collected in January because usually a week goes out before each cycle is billed. So for the month of January, so far, we collected 240,000.
And
We keep 2% of that, so I think the take for the parish is about 238,000, which is about probably half of the customers that were billed.
and you wouldn't know right now how many delinquent people that didn't pay.
Well, the delinquents, we average anywhere from 100 to 120 per cycle. But you gotta remember now, so this is the first bill that went out. So if you were current with your bill, but you didn't pay the $16.50 this time, you won't be delinquent till the following month because we give you some leeway. You know, we don't go cut you off for the first month. You know,
Because
so-
I just-
So this month, we'll know how much the delinquents are going up.
Right.
And this month, everybody would have been billed, so we'll know about what we're gonna collect each month.
It's probably gonna be your usual ones that are delinquent on the regular $5 water bill, I would guess.
Well-
Or $7.
So we did process about 1,000 exemptions. We got another list of about 200 today, so we had about 1,000 exemptions. So I would anticipate with your delinquents and all that, you're probably gonna be collecting about 31,000 customers per month.
Right.
You know,
I just think in all honesty that the collector of this should have been the school board because they collect the sales tax. They're sitting pretty. Y'all are getting criticized by the public, but it's not y'all. Y'all just being a collecting agency, okay? But y'all getting the rap. That's why I'm scared on that tax. You get people upset, and anything can happen. And, you know, nothing against it. You're collecting it, but me deep inside, it should have been the school board. They're sitting pretty. They're getting their 4/10, and we're getting 3/10 on the sales tax, and you getting billed $16.50 on all the water meters. So you know who's getting the blame, huh? But thank you for coming.
no, that's no problem. No.
I didn't say Archie.
We do to help out everybody, and I'm not gonna lie, we fixed our phone system to where the parish gets a lot of the calls and
Well, I
stuff.
don't blame
Now,
you.
unfortunately, this month, we'll start doing the disconnects for some of those that didn't pay the $16.50, so that's something that we just got to deal with, you know.
So there's a possibility if they don't pay, they go, and I paid mine. My wife, I told her, I said, get that direct thing out of my checking account. But she said, you leaving it, so I left it. So I'm paying mine and I'm paying my 7/10. We paying double. You paying more for garbage now than you ever paid in 40 years.
Right.
But anyway, it is what it is. The people voted for it, so now suffer the consequences.
Yeah, we'll have better numbers at the end. Once we balance out February, I'll keep Archie and all them in the loop, and we'll keep everybody updated.
If you don't keep him in the loop, I'm sure he's gonna keep me in the loop. Thank you, man.
Mr. Adams.
Okay, I just have a quick question. I know I'm like Mr. Lorraine over there. Mine just comes right out of my account. But the building's gone now. So, yeah, have you ever thought about paying online? Can you do that now, or?
The building?
Yeah, the building's gone, because I remember I used to I have to drive out here and pay before.
Come on, the
you get it out of your
location, you
account.
still have a location.
Yeah, so if,
Can we move to the building online?
the way we do it, so like the bill goes out, the 16, whatever, it's total, you know, and we take the water portion of it first, okay? Then whatever's left over goes to the garbage. So it might not be 16, that's why it's hard to give you a number.
No, but I'm
Yeah,
talking
but
about
when
paying
he's talking about the
online.
physical location, you have a new physical location.
I know, but can we move that to where we could pay online? You can? Okay, that's what I'm asking. Can we pay it online? Because I get mine direct out of my checking account. I know at one time we used to have to drive to the building.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So you can pay it
Yeah,
online
yeah,
now?
yeah,
All
I'm
right, that's
sorry.
what I was question. That was my
We
question.
set up a new billing system last year where you can pay online, you can pay
Okay.
on credit cards, you can
That's all
pay,
I-
yeah, I'm sorry.
Because I did not know that,
I
because
thought
again,
you
I set
was
mine
asking
up on
about
my
how it
checking
was
account.
split up and
Yeah.
all that, but yeah,
No,
you
no,
can
no,
pay
just
online. Oh, yeah.
pay online,
Yeah.
okay.
And look, our girls do a good job. If you delinquent before you charge the fee, if we have time, we call you and remind you, like, look, you hadn't paid. So there's not a lot of people that's gonna do that. So when we have time, we do that, yeah.
Mr. Melvin?
Yes, sir. Hey, Wayne, how you doing? On that leak I sent you today, real water problem, you know, that y'all are tending to, thank goodness. So y'all were like that, so thank you. You said they did a little digging, and because I noticed the water, and I'm like, that's not normal, because all the ditches are dry, and there's water, and the kids were playing, and I'm like, something ain't right, you know? So sure enough, I'm wondering what, you gonna get back with me on that when they fix it?
For what now,
For that country club at East Garden, they had a leak.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just, you know.
it was
you can
just
let
a
me-
tubing that was pulling out.
Okay, so they fixed
Yeah,
it? Okay.
yeah, they fixed it, they were out on
Okay,
site. I mean, luckily during the day, we have people all over the parish, so they were out there actually pretty quick, and they will take care of it. You know.
Good. Thank
Yeah.
y'all for your
Yeah.
quick response.
Thank you.
So Wayne, the only question I have, or the thing I wanted to ask about, so we had the massive failure, right? So I did want to bring that up. And, because a lot of people were upset they couldn't take a bath for one day, and they didn't realize the implications of when you lose water. We had no firefighting protection from basically the Matthews Bridge all the way to Fouchon. And so those are big issues. We had to bring in tanker trucks from St. John and from Shreveport. Thankfully, those fire departments assist us. We put other departments on notice. The nursing home, for instance, in Lockport, 129 patients can't flush their toilet. That's a massive issue. So we started trying to figure out how we can hook up power trucks to provide water pressure, yada, yada. Of course, the manufacturing facilities, other businesses were impacted. But I think what it brings to light is the fact that, you know, that's a once in a lifetime. I mean, I'm 54 years old, and I think maybe a half dozen times we've lost water, which is just unbelievable. Goes to show we have a great system. But the reason I bring it up is the alert system. So I engaged the parish administration. I don't think we've got around to it yet to engage you guys. You guys have the ability to send out mass texts to residents to advise them of not only like the failure that you're not going to have water pressure, but the conservation issues. Because for me, I know when we talked that night, you know, you had posted on social media.
Right,
Well, I'm in the
right.
manufacturing plant, so I'm not seeing social media. But had we had a mass text, I think everyone would have gotten that.
Right. We try to get everybody we try to piggyback off of the one that the sheriff's office uses. So I think you can go online and you can get notification from the sheriff's office when something's going on and all that. So we tried to piggyback off of them. We just can't get the followers. You know, we tried the auto dial. Well, everybody has cell phones now, and they don't, you got to sign up for it. So that doesn't work as good. We tried Facebook, you know, I don't do Facebook, you know, but the people that do, so they'll get notification and all that. So yeah, that's something that we can get with Eric and all them, or,
Yeah, they definitely
or
have
Chris
that
and all
ability.
that.
So the
you know.
we thought that y'all had that, I think is what it happened.
Yeah.
So there was a disconnect there.
Well, we do the Everbridge, but through the phone, but that's not nearly as good as, like you said, as texting and everything. And we tried to get the word out. I mean,
Oh, yeah, I know.
You know,
I
we
know.
got
We
you. I
talked.
called,
I get it.
I called Devin with down the bar. It's like, look, y'all gonna be without water. If y'all got a fire, y'all gonna have problems and all that. So, that was about as worst case scenario as you can dream up, come up with, and so hopefully that's behind us. There's still some work. We're not completely out the woods yet, because what we did, it was just, we put the line back in service and kept them separated. So now if something happens, we at least have water going out of the plant, but there's still some things that we need to do. So,
Great,
yeah,
I
we'll look
appreciate
into it. We'll get with
Yeah,
Chris
if we
and
get
all
that mass notification,
Yeah.
that'd be excellent.
Right.
All right, very good. Thank you very much, Wayne. Appreciate
Right,
it.
thank you.
All right, brings us to item H, legal advisor report. We have none. Brings us to item I, engineers and our architect reports. I'm told there are some here, although I'm not seeing any. So I was told we'd have 3 or 4 tonight. I'm not sure what happened with that, but I won't argue, although I would have liked to ask about the Valentine Pontoon Bridge. Brings us to item J, public wishing to address the council, public hearings, agenda items, et cetera. Do you have any, Ms. Corleen?
I do not, sir.
So I do have this handwritten, Mr. Brody Arrington. I would recommend you come and speak at this time on the resolution 36. One that'll be coming up, if you want to come up. Just state your name and your address for the record, and you can go ahead and discuss that resolution.
My name is Brody Arrington. I live at 10222 Highway 1, Lockport. and I'm working on my Eagle Scout project to build a pavilion at the Cutoff Youth Center at the park. Today I want to thank you for the opportunity to speak before y'all. Currently, we have enough donations to build a 15 by 20 structure. With a little extra help from income and pledges, and possibly with the Parish Recreational Department, we have enough to put up a second. In front of you, I have additional write-up from the Lafourche Gazette about the progress of my project. And I would like to ask for permission from the Parents Council that we have a donor who is willing to provide enough funding to install a wheelchair accessible handicap swing. There is a company that installs these, ADA approved swings. We just need your permission to install the swing in the park. And from what I currently know, that we actually exceeded expectations, and we have the possibility to build 3 pavilions, 3 different sizes. And again, I would like to thank you for this opportunity to complete my project.
Anyone have any comments? Ms. DeLynn.
I want to say thank you, Brody, and to your grandfather, Mr. Ernest, over there. They did an excellent job going out into the community, raising awareness to what they were trying to get done here. The park is actually owned by the Lafourche Parish government, which is why they're coming here to us. It's just across from the Cutoff Youth Center. And everybody's excited about what he's doing and what he's trying to accomplish, and I appreciate all the help that we've given so far from the council and from Brody. Thank you, and to the community that's been supporting him as well.
Mr. Araby.
I just want to thank this young gentleman for the initiatives that he's got and what he's doing for the Boy Scouts and what he's doing for the community. It's great to see a young man like that getting very much involved in things like that. And I wish you the best of luck at anything that I can do to help in any kind of way, or the council, just let us know. And if you need another place to build a couple more, come see us in the central part of the parish. Thank you, buddy.
Lions Club could always use them. Mr. Lorraine.
Yeah, I want to thank you, man. You got a lot of energy. And Bogo is your grandpa? Yeah. Well, if he's your grandpa, his daddy was your great grandpa, right? And he was here a couple of meetings ago, also 100 years old, right?
He was.
And I was talking to your grandpa the other day at the South Lafourche 11th District meeting, and I said, man, that young man is going to go a long ways. You know, I said, I hope he gets involved in politics down the road, but don't come in my district. Yeah. But anyway, you got something going. You're very aggressive. He told me you were shy, but I don't see too much shyness in you. But just keep up the good work. You started with one, and you probably have all these buildings throughout the parish before it's over with, because you're not going to stop there. Am I right or wrong?
No, you're right.
I knew I could be right sometimes. But anyway, thanks.
Well said. Thank you very much, Brody. Much appreciated. Very good. With that said, brings us to item K, public hearing and ordinances for ratification. I entertain a motion to open public hearing. So moved by Mr. Adams, second by Mr. Brumfield. All in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion passes 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 vacant seat, that being District 5. Item 11, ordinance approving the holding of an election in Water District Number 1 of the Parish of Lafourche, State of Louisiana on Saturday, April 27, 2024, to authorize a renewal of a special tax therein, sponsored by Mr. Araby on behalf of administration, second by Mr. Lorraine. Would anyone from the public like to comment on ordinance number 11? Second call, public input, ordinance number 11. You have the mic, Wayne.
Yeah, kind of explained it before, Wayne, with Lafourche Parish Water District. So this is just a renewal. It's not an increase. It keeps us where we're at. We're keeping our rates low, and it's throughout the parish with y'all. And hopefully everybody supports it.
Absolutely. Hopefully everyone supports this one. This is a no-brainer. Second call still. Anyone from the public want to comment? Last and final call. Anyone from the public? Anyone from the council? There being none, bring it to a vote. All in favor signify by saying aye. Is anyone opposed? Motion passed 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 vacancy, that being District 5. Item 12, ordinance approving the issuance, sale, and delivery of water revenue bonds of Water District Number 1 of the Parish of Lafourche, State of Louisiana, and providing for other matters related thereto. Mr. Araby for the administration, second Mr. Lorraine. Anyone from the public would like to comment on ordinance number 12? Second call, public input, ordinance 12. Last and final call for public input on ordinance number 12. Anyone from the council? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Is anyone opposed? Motion passed, 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 vacancy, that being District 5. I'll now entertain a motion to close public hearing. So moved by Mr. Adams, second by Mr. Brumfield. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion passed, 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 vacancy, that being District 5. Item L, proposed ordinances. Mr. Melvin, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you, sir. Proposed ordinances, number 13. Proposed ordinance requesting a no dumping $500 fine sign be posted on West 137th Street in the curve past the Avenue, Galliano, Louisiana, Ward 10, District 9, Parish of Lafourche, State of Louisiana, installing the necessary no dumping $500 fine sign and providing penalties for the violations thereof moved by Mr. Lorraine. Number 14. Proposed ordinance to establish a 15 miles per hour speed limit on West 178th Street, Galliano, Louisiana, Ward 10, District 9, Parish of Lafourche, State of Louisiana, providing for the placement of speed limit signs at the beginning, middle, and end of West 178th Street, and also to provide for the placement of watch for children and speed check by radar signs, providing penalties and for violations thereof, moved by Mr. Lorraine. Number 15, proposed ordinance approving of an act of donation between Parish of Lafourche and the City of Thibodaux for Starlink equipment and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said donation and any and all relevant documents, moved by Mr. Otam. Number 16, proposed ordinance approving an act of donation between the Parish of Lafourche and Town of Golden Meadow for Starlink equipment and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said donation and any other and all relevant documents, moved by Mr. Otam. Number 17, proposed ordinance approving for an act of donation between the Parish of Lafourche and Town of Lockport and Starlink equipment and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said donation and any and all relevant documents, moved by Mr. Otam for the administration. Number 18, proposed ordinance approving an act of donation between the Parish of Lafourche and the Lafourche Parish Sheriff's Office for Starlink equipment and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said donation, any and all relevant documents, moved by Mr. Otam. Number 19, proposed ordinance accepting the subdivision known as St. Mary's Place Phase 1 into the parish system. Would someone move for this on me, please?
Absolutely.
Thank you. Number 20. Mr. Tipu, sorry. Number 20, proposed ordinance approving for a servitude agreement between Elliott C. Izan Jr. and the Parish of Lafourche and Thibodaux area and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said agreement and any and all relevant documents, moved by Mr. Adams for the administration. Number 21, proposed ordinance amending ordinance number 6829 that accepted the subdivision known as Field Chase Subdivision Phase A into the parish subdivision, moved by Mr. Perk for the administration. Number 22, proposed ordinance amending and reenacting Chapter 36 of the Lafourche Parish Code of Ordinances as it pertains to the streets, sidewalks, and other public properties, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer any and all relevant documents, by Mr. Adams.
Thank you very much, Mr. Melvin. Item M, resolutions. Number 23, resolution requesting Louisiana Department of Transportation Development, LADOTD, to repaint the road striping yellow and white lines on LA1 from Bayou Vista subdivision to the Dollar General store. Moved by Mr. Melvin. Can I get a second by Mr. Adams? Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion passes with 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 vacancy, that being District 5. Item 24, resolution approving an agreement between Parish of Lafourche and Ducks Unlimited for the Bayou Lewis Marsh Terraces Phase 5 project and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said agreement and any all relevant documents. Moved by Mr. Lorraine for the administration, second by Mr. Araby. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Anyone opposed? Motion passes 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 vacancy, that vacancy being District 5. Item 25, resolution accepting low bid of TBT Contracting Incorporated in the amount of $3,413,000 for the project titled Recreation District Number 2, Milton P. Araby Racing Community Park, Hurricane Ida Replacements and Repairs, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer an agreement and any all relevant documents. Moved by Mr. Araby for the administration, second by Mr. Perk. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion passes 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 vacancy, that being District 5. Item 26, resolution approving amendment number 2 to the agreement between the American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals and Lafourche Parish Government for the Disaster Response Grant, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said amendment and any all relevant documents. Moved by Mr. Adams for the administration, second by Mr. Melvin. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Is anyone opposed? Motion passes 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 vacancy. That vacancy be in District 5. Item 27, resolution approving an agreement between the State of Louisiana through the Coastal Protection and Restoration Authority and Lafourche Parish government for the construction of the Sugar Ridge Pump Station and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said agreement and any all relevant documents. Moved by Mr. Adams for administration, second by Mr. Perk. Any discussion? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion passes 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 vacancy, that being District 5. Item 28, resolution approving an agreement between Parish of Lafourche and the Lafourche Parish Tourist Commission for the Tourism Wayfinding Signage Program and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said agreement and any all relevant documents. Mr. Adams for the administration, second by Mr. Melvin. Any discussion? Looking forward to seeing that signage. All in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion passes 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 vacancy. That vacancy being District 5. Item 29, resolution accepting the bid from Byron E. Talbot Contracting Incorporated in the amount of $1,911,782 for the project titled Priority Road List 2022 Road Sales Tax District 2 Road Improvement Project and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer an agreement and any all relevant documents. Moved by Ms. Chestnut for the administration, second by Mr. Lorraine. You second it or you want to talk? Or both? Second by Mr. Lorraine. Discussion, Mr. Lorraine, you have the floor, sir.
I see that Byron Talbot got the bid. We got a list of these streets the other day. Can you tell me, it's only 5 or 6 streets?
Mr. President?
You know what they are, Dylan?
Yeah, just stand by. Dylan's pulling them up. It doesn't take much. One road like Hamilton Street's $1 million. I know some of them are just so expensive.
Hamilton Street, the 2 levy districts should pay for that. Not road sales tax too. They're broken.
Agreed.
And you know that.
Oh, yeah, I got the calls. You good with us? He's
You
gonna
can
bring it
give it
back
to
up
me after.
Yeah, in their discussion. All right, thank you, Mr.
I'm
Lorraine.
just watching you. I don't want you to throw any extras in there.
All right,
Got it?
hold on. He got
I
it.
have it. Industrial Park Road, for LA 308 in the turn lane, Oak R, West 42nd, West 59th, West 74th, West 152nd, West 201st, and the Golden Meadow Public Boat Launch. 8 streets.
What's the last 3? 152?
West 152nd, West 201st, and the Golden Meadow Public Boat Launch.
Okay.
Good to go?
Okay, thank you, man.
Yep, that's in your email from 124.
All right, thank you, Dylan. Any further discussion? Bring it to vote. All in favor signify by saying aye. Is anyone opposed? Motion passed 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 vacancy, that being District 5. Item 30, resolution accepting the quote from Everbridge Incorporated for a high-speed notification system and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said agreement and any all relevant documents. Mr. Araby will move on behalf of the administration, second by Mr. Perk. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Anyone opposed? Motion passes 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 vacancy, that being District 5. Item 31, resolution approving agreement between the Office of Community Development and Parish of Lafourche implementing grant funds on the Community Development Block Grant Disaster Recovery Program through the Restore Louisiana Infrastructure FEMA Public Assistance Non-Federal Share Match Program and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer an agreement and any all relevant documents. Moved by Mr. Araby for administration, second by Mr. Perk. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Is anyone opposed? Motion passed 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 vacancy, that being District 5. Item 32, resolution accepting the bid from Onshore Construction Company LLC in the amount of $1,867,000 for the project titled Hurricane Ida Damage Repairs to Louisiana's Cajun Bayou Visitor Center and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer an agreement and any all relevant documents. Moved by Mr. Araby for the administration, second by Mr. Perk. Any discussion? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Is anyone opposed? Motion passes 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 vacancy, that vacancy being District 5. Item 33, resolution approving agreement between the Parish of Lafourche and NOLA Title Group LLC and SRI Services Incorporated for the auction and sale of adjudicated properties and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said agreement and any all relevant documents. Moved by Ms. Chestnut for the administration, second by Mr. Araby. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Is anyone opposed? Motion passed 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 vacancy, that vacancy being District 5. Item 34, resolution approving agreement between Lafourche Parish Tourist Commission and the Parish of Lafourche to promote the Lafourche Central Market Pavilion and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said agreement and any all relevant documents. Moved by Ms. Arabi for administration, second by Mr. Perk. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Is anyone opposed? Motion passed with 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 vacancy. That vacancy being District 5. Item 35, resolution approving a joint use agreement between the State of Louisiana Department of Transportation and Development and Parish of Lafourche for use of land located at State Highway LA1 and US 90 for the construction, operation, and maintenance of a fire station, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said agreement and any all relevant documents. Moved by Mr. Arabi for administration, second by Mr. Perk. Any discussion? Go ahead, Mr. Arabi.
I just want to thank the administration, this administration we have now for getting this taken care of through the state, because at several different times we attempted this and they succeeded. So I just want to thank y'all for making it happen.
Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It took us a while, the administration shake-up the last couple of years, but I got to give credit to a guy named Bo Black who works for DOTD who kind of picked up the ball for us and rolled with it. We are going to have one. I don't think we're going to have to approve the other one because we're going to go through the actual fire department in Bayou Blue because they want to actually construct an expanded fire station. Most of this is going to remain green space for use for hopefully after hurricanes if we ever need it, and then the civic uses we use it for. So thank you, sir.
No, outstanding. We're very excited and thankful for y'all doing this, Archie. Very good. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Anyone opposed? Motion passes 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 vacancy. That vacancy being District 5. Item 36, resolution approving agreement between the Cutoff Youth Center, the Eagle Scouts, and the Parish of Lafourche allowing the construction of a pavilion and picnic tables by the walking trail park area and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said agreement and any all relevant documents. Mr. Lorraine, will you sponsor this for the behalf of the administration?
No, sir. Oh, she can't do it. She can't.
So we got it sponsored by Mr. Lorraine for the administration, second by Mr. Arabi. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? 1 abstention?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
One
so
abstention.
motion passes with 7 yeas, 0 nays, 1 abstention. That abstention being Councilwoman Chesson, and 1 vacancy, that vacancy being District 5. Are we good, Ms. Carly? All right, very good. And great to see that project take off. Item 37, resolution approving agreement and task order number 1 between the Parish of Lafourche and APTIM Environmental and Infrastructure LLC for environmental management services, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said agreement, task order, and any and all relevant documents. Moved by Ms. Adams for administration, second by Mr. Perk. Any discussion? Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I noted in the agenda summary to you guys, but just for the public who's watching, this theoretically is not for environmental management services. That's just how their contract reads. As you guys have been around for a while, we've been fighting our FEMA flood map since 2008. We are hopefully in the final run of that. We've been going back and forth. Aptam's been working with us for a lot of years on this. Because they've been bought out and consolidated, it was time to renew their contract anyway. But the task order itself is, as we get through these new flood maps, and even on some of the current ones, they're going to need people who need to be mapped out, right, through letters of map amendment or letters of map revision. This is going to allow them that once we do get that new set of maps, probably over the summer, and have to work through the public hearings and all that stuff, this is going to give them the ability to keep working for us.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. President. Any further discussion? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion passes 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 vacancy. That vacancy being District 5. Item 38, resolution approving agreement between Cat Vet Spade Neuter and Rescue and the Parish of Lafourche for low-cost spade and neuter services for Lafourche Parish residents, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said agreement and any all relevant documents. Mr. Perk for the administration, second by Ms. Chesson. Discussion. I'll discuss some at the end of the meeting. With that said, we'll bring it to a vote. All in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion passes 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 vacancy. That vacancy being District 5. Item 39, resolution approving change order number 4 for the project titled Hurricane Auto Repairs, Third Block Building, Phase 1 re-roofing, adding 71 days to the contract time, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said change order and any other relevant document. Mr. Perk for the administration, second by Mr. Arabi. Discussion. All in favor signify by saying aye. Anyone opposed? Motion passes 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 vacancy. That vacancy being District 5. Item 40, resolution accepting the bid from Delcon LLC in the amount of $1,222,400 for the project titled Recreation District Number 1, Lockport Recreation Ballpark and Community Center, Hurricane Ida replacements and repairs, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer an agreement. Any all relevant documents. Mr. Arabi will sponsor on behalf of the administration, second by Ms. Chesson. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion passes 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 vacancy. That vacancy being District 5. Item 41, resolution reappointing 1 member to the Bayou Blue Fire Protection District of the parishes of Terrebonne and Lafourche Board. Mr. Arabi for the administration. Who do you have, Mr. Arabi?
We had 1 vacancy, 1 reappointment, Mr. Jason Grove.
Mr. Grove, second by Mr. Perk. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Is anyone opposed? Motion passed 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 vacancy. That vacancy being District 5. Item 42, resolution reappointing 1 member to the Fire Protection District Number 4 Board. Mr. Melvin for the administration. Who do you have, Mr. Melvin?
1 vacancy, 1 reappointment, Mr. Richard Bourgeois.
Mr. Bourgeois, second by Mr. Adams. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Anyone opposed? Motion passed 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 vacancy. That vacancy being District 5. Item 43, resolution appointing 1 member to the Fire Protection District Number 6 Board. Mr. Adams for the administration. Who do you have, Mr. Adams?
Kent Tomplay.
Mr. Tomplay, second by Mr. Perk. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Anyone opposed? Motion passes 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 vacancy. That vacancy being District 5. Item 44, resolution reappointing 1 member on the Fire Protection District Number 8C Board. Mr. Adams for the administration. We have Mr. Adams.
Evan Plaison.
Mr. Plaison, second by Mr. Melvin. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Anyone opposed? Motion passes 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 absent, 1 vacancy. That vacancy being District Number 5. You knew I was going to do that sooner or later, right? That's why you left. We're going to be doing this vacancy for a bit. Okay, item 45, resolution appointing 1 member to Lafourche Parish Communications District Board representing the city of Thibodaux. Mr. Perk for the administration. Who do you have, Mr. Perk?
We have 1 vacancy, 1 appointment, Mr. Kim Bro.
Mr. Bro, second by Ms. Chesson. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Anyone opposed? Motion passed 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 vacancy. That vacancy being District 5. Item 46, resolution approving an agreement between Lafourche Parish Recreation District Number 11 and the Parish of Lafourche to provide reimbursement for the project titled Bayou Blue Park Hurricane Ida Repairs and Replacements, and authorize the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said agreement and all relevant documents. Mr. Arabi will move on behalf of the administration, second by Ms. Chesson. Any discussions? All in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion passes 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 vacancy. That vacancy being District 5. Item 47, resolution accepting the bid from Foray Contracting Group in the amount of $22,500, for the project titled Recreation District Number 8, Fashery Gaines Community Center and Park Hurricane Ida Replacements and Repairs, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer an agreement and any all relevant documents. Moved by Mr. Arabi for administration, second by Mr. Lorraine. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Anyone opposed? Motion passed 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 vacancy. That vacancy being District 5. Last page. Item 48, resolution accepting the bid from Foray Contracting Group in the amount of $1,037,060 for the project titled Recreation District Number 5, Choctaw Park and Kramer Park Hurricane Ida Replacements and Repairs, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer an agreement and all relevant documents. Moved by Mr. Adams for the administration, second by Mr. Perk. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Anyone opposed? Motion passed 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 vacancy. That vacancy being District 5. Item 49, resolution approving amendment number 7 to the agreement between the Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, Department of Homeland Security, DHS, and Lafourche Parish government for the use of the Lafourche Parish Recreation District Number 2 Raceland Gym, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said amendment and any all relevant documents. Mr. Arabi for the administration, second by Mr. Adams. Discussion. Go ahead, Mr. Arabi.
I had some questions about this resolution here that I've been researching, and I did a lot of homework today on this resolution, and I was going to end up pulling it, but after I got all my answers today, I went ahead and we're going to continue with it. So, thank you.
So you're in favor of Mr. Arabi? Still in favor? Okay, very good. Any further discussion on this one? All in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion passed 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 vacancy. That vacancy being District 5. Item N, Parish President, Department Heads, Directors, or Manager Reports and Presentations and or Updates. Number 50, Finance Representative to present the monthly financial report as required by state agreed upon procedures for January 2024. Mr. Administrator, anyone have anything you want to say?
pull
Mr.
them, Mr.
President.
Chairman. They're coming.
All right, very good.
So Renita's gonna do the, kind of the end of year PowerPoint for you guys of the last quarter. Which is because of the old TV missing, we rolled this one in, trying to get ready for what's coming next week. I think they're gonna start tomorrow on the rest of the stuff, so.
Bo, if you don't mind, can you grab the gavel while they go through this? I'm gonna scoot on back so I'm not blocking the screen.
Okay, 2023 royalty revenue. In the fourth quarter of 2023, LPG has received $504,059.76. In 2023, the fourth quarter shows a decrease of $151,032.27, given a percentage of 23.1 as a decrease compared to the fourth quarter of 2022, and a year-end shows a decrease of $653,258.46, which is a 26.674% decrease for royalty rolls ending for year 2023. These numbers are all that's going to be presented tonight are unaudited numbers, but this is the totals that we have so far. Those numbers can actually go up. Next slide, please. Road Sales Tax District A. In the fourth quarter of 2023, LPG has received $152,286.44. In 2023, the fourth quarter shows a decrease of $1,490,722.20, which is a 90.731% decrease compared to a fourth quarter of 2022. The year-end shows a overall decrease of $2,290,897.37, which is a 32.448% decrease. Of course, those numbers are lower in comparison to 2022 because of the new tax that was approved by the voters. Next slide, please. Road Sales Tax District 2. In the fourth quarter of 2023, LPG has received $83,770.39. In 2023, the fourth quarter shows a decrease of $801,781.53, which is a 90.54% decrease compared to the fourth quarter of 2022, and a year-end shows an overall decrease of $829,440.10, which ending year is 22.019 decrease overall for year-end of 2023. The new tax, which is Road Sales Tax District Revenue for the fourth quarter reporting of $1,622,335.44. And we do not have any previous because this is the new tax that was voted on again for the voters, by the voters. Next slide, please. 2023 solid waste. In the fourth quarter of 2023, LPG has received $1,248,312. In 2023, the fourth quarter shows a decrease of $1,236,189.84, which is a 49.75%, 56% decrease compared to the fourth quarter of 2022. And the year-end shows a overall decrease of $1,858,981.53, which is an overall decrease for 2023 for solid waste is 17.528%. Parish transportation. In the fourth quarter of 2023, LPG has received $97,351.87. In 2023, the fourth quarter shows a decrease of $68,687.93, which is 41.368% decrease compared to the fourth quarter of 2022. And the year-end shows an increase of $36,262.93, which ends 2023 with a 4.837 increase over 2022. The general fund. The general fund, again, this is an unaudited number. Our fund balance for the general fund ends in $13,316,200.40. Next slide, drainage. It is ending in a deficit for right now of $461,016.16. But again, we are still making entries up until the end of March the 7th. So those numbers can change. The library, they end with a $7,625,218.81 as their fund balance. Solid waste end with 2023 is $9,679,329.91. Royalty ends their fund balance with $2,606,783.74. And these are your bar slides, which shows parish transportation is lower than the previous years, and royalty also comes in lower than last year's. Next slide. These are your sales tax for road sales tax A, which is showing lower than the other 2021 and 2022. Road sales tax 2, the same thing, and solid waste. Thank you. If there's any questions, I'm ready to answer any questions that anyone may have.
Some of the larger ending numbers are still a result of Hurricane Ida stuff, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so some of those numbers are going to disappear as we go forward. Mr. Lorraine.
Yes, on the road sales tax 2, don't we have, I spoke to you yesterday.
Yes.
$6,916,555, not knowing how many bills are going to be coming in.
Yes, yes.
And then on A, you got $6,653,545.40.
Yes, that's what we talked about.
The only thing I want to see is when you combine A and 2 together at a half a penny, you're going to be $4 million short at the end of this year. Because A produced $7 million last year at a penny. So what you think is going to happen this year at a half a penny? That's the only people that got a tax break was A, not 2. But that's not how it was presented. But anyway, I'm just telling you, you're going to be short. And I said it before, you shot yourself in the foot because you're going to be $4 million short.
Was that a question for me?
No, it's just him rambling. Mr. Chairman, if.
Go ahead, Mr. President.
So Daniel, it's not that we're going to be $4 million short, right? You have, hold on. You got you have a $6 million fund balance in each one of those road sales. So what does that tell you? We've overtaxed the people for years and built up $6 million that we've been holding in a savings account. Now, yes, over time, there will be roads that need to be redone. But when you look at road sales tax district 8, right, we're about to finish paying off the $25 million bond issue that paved every road in there. So right now it's a maintenance schedule. So we don't need to collect $7 million a year anymore because we're on a maintenance schedule now. We're not paving the roads we used to pave. So look, I'm not gonna rehash the whole tax reform argument with you. I get you still mad about it and you don't like it, but we've taxed people too much for years, and that was the point of all of this.
I just want to tell you, when we came up with this tax, road sales tax 2 passed, A did not pass, okay? We went 10 years with a penny. What you think I did? I came back 10 years later and added a 20-year tax at a half a penny, because all our roads were basically done. Now, what's my problem is you cut the penny to half a penny, so you're not gonna generate the 7 million. And the roads are getting bad, aren't they? They are getting bad all over the place, not just in 2, all over, and you won't be able to have enough money to keep up. Just think when the cement roads and the subdivisions are gonna start breaking. You just won't have, we differ on that because I took care of my people in 2008 and I had a 20-year tax and y'all said that that was too long. But your proposal is 20 years. So what makes your 20 years better than mine? And that's the truth. But the people voted on it. I still don't think it was right what they did because we had 4 years left on that call. It expired in 2/27, and something is coming up the pipe. And that's what I'm gonna stop right there.
Thank you, Mr. Lorraine. Any questions for Anita? Any more questions? All right, move right along. Item O, questions for the administration. Mr. Lorraine.
Now I'm gonna finish. When can we get a portable pump for them people down the bayou below the South Lafourche levee? We got one. We got one at the barn. Why can't we set it up? I know you're saying there's only 2-3 families for FEMA. Guess what I've been getting? I've been getting calls from local people want to know why there's flooding. And if we don't protect that little bit of land that we have on the south end of the South Lafourche levee district, wherever that levee breaks, we're done. Whether it's in LaRose, whether it's in Galliana, whether it's down the bayou. But you let all that property go and not protect it, we're gonna get slaughtered for a hurricane on the south end. It doesn't take a genius to figure that out. And we have a portable pump. Why not go put it up and use it? That's what it's for. And that's really the only place it could be used in that area. So I'm asking you, please set it up.
Mr. President?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So my response to that is where do we stop? Are we gonna bring a portable pump to Leeville, or are we gonna bring a portable pump to?
No.
Look, I get it, Daniel. There's 2 people that still live down there. T-Ran and his mama, because the other guy's unfortunately incarcerated, right? FEMA is not gonna pay to put pump stations back down there, the 2 we lost, right? Even if we put a portable pump down there, that means I have to hire a pumper and pay a pumper. It's an added expense. We sent certified letters, and if anybody wants to see them, we'll bring you the paperwork to show you. We sent certified letters to all of those property owners saying, look, nobody's gonna rebuild. Half the people are now deceased. Let the parish come in with some of our hurricane dollars, buy the property, dredge by Lafourche, fill that whole thing in, make a nice little mitigation area that's green that we can generate some credits off of for any future projects. And they all said no. So at some point, it's kind of like Lafitte, right? I hate to do it because I love Miss Eileen, I love Mr. Randy when he was alive, and I love T-Ran. But at some point, we have to draw a line in the sand and say, where do we stop?
Yes, but I mean, you throwing in Leeville on this. Leeville has nothing. I am concerned with those 2 families. I'm very concerned, but I'm also concerned with protecting that levee. All that property that's out there, what's left, is protecting that levee. Listen, I've been on that levee many a times for a hurricane. And when you get on the levee and you look at the floodgates, you look toward Leeville, you know what you got? The Gulf of Mexico. So the little bit of land we have there, if we don't try to protect that levee, we're in trouble. I don't care if you live in LaRose, Cut Off, or wherever you live. Wherever it breaks is gonna fill in and equalize up to wherever it's gonna be. Now, we need to get some protection. And I got people calling me on that. I said, well, man, what you telling me, I already told this council that. We need to do something.
So then, Ms. Lorraine, I would tell you to come with me and let's go down there and meet with the property owners and
That's
convince them
fine.
to sell us the property. Because that's the only way you're gonna be able to do it. There is no,
Most of those property owners is one person, some lawyer or somebody that have that,
I know.
okay? What it was in the old days, they just went and took a piece of property.
no, I get, and we know who they are, but there's a couple of still South Lafourche families that control
But,
a majority of it.
but we need to protect the levee.
And we are. I think if you look at some of the projects that Megan is working on in CZM with Ducks Unlimited, you know, the parish hadn't done work on that little Mobley Serenier levee in probably 10 or 15 years, I think was the last time.
And you know,
we put a machine on there. So
we're in the year of 2024, and you got two families getting to their house by boat inside the little levee. That doesn't make us look too good. And I know that FEMA's not gonna help just two people, but we have a portable pump. Just give them some relief for a while till hopefully we can talk to them to move at higher ground in that general area. There's some higher ground in that general area where they won't be in the water.
and I'm pretty sure one of the people owns a home in Lockport that they rode out the hurricane in. So it's not like they don't have anywhere to go.
I understand, but listen to what I'm telling you. I want to protect that levee on the south end also. That's important.
I get you, and we're working on that, but that has nothing to do with a portable pump.
But we have a portable pump sitting at the barn doing nothing. Just put it to you. You don't have to have somebody manned it 24 hours. Just, they're pumping themselves. Can you believe that? So now I'm gonna keep quiet on that one. Hopefully you do the right thing. The next one, the libraries. You and I kind of spoke the other day about Angola Meta. Listen, we're going on 3 years. Okay, we still have nothing in Angola Meta. We still have nothing at South Lafourche. Y'all started on the building, I think, but I would like to see it progress so where we can get something. I'm not happy with a little bookstore. I'm not happy with a whatever you call it, a moving truck. Come on now. The original library at South Lafourche, they had more computers in that room, 45 computers, bigger than what you got at a bookstore. The people of South Lafourche deserve better than a bookstore. The insurance was collected. We've been paying the millage tax for 3 years, and we haven't had any service. And we still don't have Wi-Fi, which I asked you. You said you were going to check, because you're the liaison. You was going to check with them and get that hooked up in Golden Meta and at South Lafourche, because a lot of people were using that. Going on 3 years. So do me a favor. It's my turn to get a favor. Get the librarian over here at the next meeting. She needs to be questioned. Okay?
Mr. Chairman, if I can.
President?
So first of all, I'm not gonna open up the library director to one of Mr. Lorraine's inquisitions. Second of all, you guys just approved, what, 7 or 8 low bids for hurricane-related projects? It's been 3 years that we haven't had a tourist commission building for our visitors, right? If you notice, the South Lafourche Levee District and the Port Commission just moved into their buildings maybe 3 or 4 months ago. Been 2 years and, let's say, 10 months, right? Hold on, I'm not done. You got people who have paid recreation tax. We just approved 3 or 4 recreation projects tonight, right? Look, Mr. Lorraine, nobody is more irritated with the FEMA process than me and Mitch, right? Poor Mitch beats his head against the wall every 2 weeks on these conference calls. I don't get on him anymore because the last time I did, I'm pretty sure FEMA would have taken a hit out on me if I'd have stayed in the meeting, right? It's not fun. It's not fair that we're paying taxes on buildings. Look, you still see holes in this one. If you walk around the backside of the building, poor Dylan's working on a folding table where Council on Aging was. I get it, right? But to say that you're paying taxes and you're not getting anything, I don't think, one, is a fair statement. But two, yes, we did go down the via a week and a half ago and looked at a potential site for the Golden Medal Library just behind where the old library used to be. I think it's a pretty suitable building that was reskinned and re-roofed that we could easily build out to give us the same footprint that they had before, to put computers in. We're probably gonna go to bid sometime March or April in the Galliana Library. It's been a process to try to figure out how to reconfigure that building to get more services in there. Part of that new facility is gonna be a small business incubator in South Lafourche. Mr. Melvin was at the one that we cut the ribbon on in Thibodeau, in a partnership with Nichols and the Small Business Development Center last week. These guys are gonna come in and hub down there so we can help people who wanna start up businesses and grow their businesses in South Lafourche. So it's, again, it's kinda like the recreation, and I know Mr. Araby and I have gone back and forth, and he has with Mitch. You know, we're getting metal light poles and LED lights out of the deal, right? Yes, it took us 2 years of kicking FEMA in the teeth to get that stuff, but we're getting stuff that's bigger and better than what we had before. So yeah, I get it. It's a pain in the butt, and I'm tired of dealing with it too, but.
I understand what you're saying.
You know, it's not like we're the only ones still dealing with that, is what I'm saying.
But the South Lafourche main library, we got hit with 2 of them. That was a one-stop shop for the people of South Lafourche to go get all this stuff. Sure, the Port Commission let house the DA, house the assessor, house the one more, whatever. But there were many others in there, and they house them and thank them for that, but 1 day a week, when everybody else is open 4 days a week. It didn't take long to fix that Thibodeau library. 2 weeks after I did, that was all done. Well, that's what I'm saying. But we still waiting. I used to argue a lot on that. Now it's going on 3 years. And if I don't say nothing.
If you could tell me how to tame Mother Nature to where it wouldn't have tore you
No,
up in South Lafourche like it didn't tear up Thibodeau, I'd be with you.
I can't tell you what
But I
Mother
couldn't
Nature's
stand on the
gonna
levee
do.
and
I can ask you to put a portable pump for them people down the bay and get the building fixed. And thank you, man.
Thank you, Mr. Lorraine. Mr. Melvin.
All right, how you doing? Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Lorraine. Look, I know you mean well. I just wanted to know an update, because I know over the last few years, it seems like we made great progress on the Cyprian, Cyprian we did. How about Bayou Vista? Because I know that, look, when I told Mr. LeBlanc, who's in charge of the sewer district of Bayou Vista, when you said, hey, look, we got the money, and look, I saw plans 2 years ago, maybe some prospective plans, but I mean, I'm just trying to see, because, I mean, those people, they think they got one coming. I'm hoping they have one coming. I just wanted to know where we are in detail about, because every time I ask, it seems like it's a little something different. It pushes off, but, you know, I thought this spring we were going to be doing something major.
Yeah, we're getting close. Like I told you on the phone a couple of weeks ago, I think the biggest hurdle we have left is right-of-ways.
Okay.
Because we're going to theoretically build a levee around this neighborhood to control the water, be able to build a pump, right?
Okay.
It's going to be a 50 or so foot right-of-way on either side of this neighborhood to dig basically a small, you know, a ditch, an outfall canal, right, and then use that material to build a levee. They've done the surveying. We have enough data. You know, the plans you saw were prospective plans, right? It was something that All South put together for us to go out and chase the watershed grant. Those were probably, if I had to guess, somewhere in a 10-15% design range. We're probably a little over 50%, give or take, right now. So I would venture to guess if right-of-ways go easy, and we are able to get those from the 2 landowners on either side, probably go out to bid sometime early summer.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate that.
Thank you, Mr. Melvin. Mr. President, Mr. Araby.
Mr. President,
Yes, sir.
as you know, the council approved that recreational project in downtown Richmond. And I want to thank the council for approving that. And I want to ask this administration to please process the paperwork that needs to be done after and get this show on the road. Thank you.
I'm pretty sure that the contracts are probably sitting in a folder waiting for me to sign tomorrow morning, so.
Excellent. Ms. Delenn.
My question's for Dylan. Dylan, we have, issues still on West 11th Street. Are we still have workers on that, like making sure that that road isn't collapsing and that kind of thing, the ditch that was,
Yeah, we are looking into it. We probably check it every 2 weeks, or especially after every rainfall event. We're looking at the idea of ordering a culvert to put in that area that we keep having an issue with. It's an old bayou, it's an old hospital bayou that used to pass through there. So the sub base just isn't holding. Every time we add material or try to put good material in, it fails on us. So we are continuing to watch it. We are watching the road. There's no failure of the road as of yet, but we did size the culvert and get a quote on it as of today. So I'll keep you posted on that.
thank you, I appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am.
Let the record reflect, Mr. Melvin stepped out of chambers at 18:34 hours. I have 2 items for the administration. One is, thank you, Archie, for chasing down that FEMA trailer issue I had again. My question is, so that's the 3rd time in I don't know, 7 or 8 months that there was this, I'm gonna call it an illegal discharge from a sewer system onto a neighbor. Two questions. So one is, can we follow up with FEMA? I know there's a new rep now. She made that crystal clear. Did they reach out to the affected person, elderly man, to make sure that he's good? You know, I'm hoping we don't end up in any litigation since it's been a continued issue. And secondarily, they're operating obviously out of a temporary permit, I'm guessing. What is the extension termination date for those right now?
So I don't know. I'll ask RGL. They followed up with the neighbor to make sure he was okay and they cleaned up everything. I'll do that for you tonight. Hopefully we'll get a response back tomorrow. A lot of the housing initiatives are coming to a close on April 30th. I'm supposed to meet tomorrow morning in Lake Charles with Jacques Thibodeau, who's a new GoSep director, who came from the city of Thibodeau, was their EOC director for a while, to figure out what this is gonna look like. We do know we still have people that are stuck with insurance issues, that are stuck in either the Restore Louisiana program or some other mitigation program to get them back into their houses. I can't see the state or FEMA saying, all right, because of these other issues, we're gonna kick you out, right? I think the people who have not made any progress, have purposely dodged the case managers and done that stuff, that's gonna be a separate conversation we're gonna have about what happens with those people. But the program's coming to an end. You know, FEMA has said it's not gonna be extended. The state has said it's not gonna be extended. The only other option is for the parish to take on that. And that would mean we have to take on the logistics, how to get these people serviced, if there's sewer issues or maintenance issues on the units. We would be responsible for decommissioning those units and then hauling them away. And it's not something that we're willing to take on. So we're working pretty hard with Ally. I reached out to Ally last week to see if we had any open rental units that we could stick people in with the landlords that we work with in the community action program. We reached out to the housing authority to say, hey, do you have any available property somewhere? A lot of it is gonna be location dependent. We don't wanna take people from, you know, LaRose, Galliana, Gula Meadow and bring them to Thibodeau. If we don't have to, because we don't wanna take them away from families or whatever the case may be. But we're gonna try to figure out, a lot of us are meeting this week when we're in Lake Charles to try to figure that out.
I appreciate it, because I mean, you know, it was a temporary permit for discharge. The system is not designed to be a permanent, and that's why it's failing. So you can't, you know, continuously affect the neighbors with this temporary setup. Like if they're gonna leave the FEMA trail and then start doing some permanent setups or something, we gotta mitigate these affected people.
And Mr. Chairman, I will add, unless, you know, you guys as the council wanna kinda overrule me on this, which I guess you kinda have the right to do, I've held the position since day one that we were not gonna sell these units to residents, right? Because we have people in Lockport and in Thibodeau and Raceland who are still in these FEMA units that when we waived the base flood elevation requirements to get these things in as quick as we did, we said, look, block them up at 52 inches, put the little stairways, put the ramps, and let's move on with life. There are gonna be people in, you know, lower part of your district, in Ms. DeLynn and Mr. Lorraine's district that are not gonna be able to afford to elevate these units to get them to the right height. FEMA does not have the funding in the program to elevate them. So they're gonna lose those trailers while people in Mr. Araby, Mr. Perk, Mr. Melvin, Mr. Broomfield, Mr. Adams' districts, that we get to keep theirs, right? And I really don't think that's fair.
Agreed.
We either have to help everybody or we have to figure out someplace else to put them in permanent housing. So that's kind of the mantra we've stuck with. Other parishes are doing things a little bit different. And I've taken the heat for that because it was my call from day one. And I will continue to say that. But we're still working. Again, we're gonna have a lot of meetings this week in Lake Charles to try to figure out what the long-term program looks like.
Very good, I appreciate it. Mr. Lorraine?
On these FEMA trailers, did you find out if they could keep them a little longer?
So
You said you were gonna look into it.
Yeah, so the April 30th deadline is a lot more for the state's units. I think the FEMA program is gonna keep in until August of 2024, but again, this summer, just about everybody is gonna be either put into a different housing situation, but trying to get them out of the units themselves. The state's making more of a push. We don't have that many campers. I'll call them RV units. There's only about 100 or 50 of them left. A few of them are still in Peterson Lane down the Bayou. There's not many in the group sites left anymore.
No, they don't have
Individual
that
lots.
many, but they still have a few, and the ones that are in there are struggling. They didn't spit everything they probably had. Thank you.
Next question I have, Mr. President, is the discussion, I don't remember the state statute with respect to the proposed requirements, I don't say proposed because they said we have to do it, for remote access to these meetings. There was supposed to be gonna be discussion at PJAL on that. Do y'all know, so I don't see any agenda items or where that's gonna be discussed. Are y'all aware? Is that gonna be addressed? Because we still have to keep that in consideration, you know, as we go through this process.
Yeah, so I don't know if there's a specific discussion that's gonna happen in one of the Thursday kind of block workshops that we have. When I talked to Mr. Cormier and Ms. Debbie Hinton, I guess a couple of weeks ago when I was in Baton Rouge, they might have mentioned in the new elected officials training that Mr. Mark was at, the Police Jury Association itself is trying to draft a set of guidelines for us to use. That way, nobody's adopting, Lafourche doesn't develop one, Terrebonne develops something else, and, if you go to a Terrebonne Parish Council meeting, you're doing it this way. If you come here, we're doing it that way. So we're waiting kind of for Ms. Debbie to develop what this is gonna look like, and then all of us as a group would just implement the same set of rules and guidelines.
So my understanding is there's gonna be pushback on the state legislature, maybe rescind that. Is that?
I'm hoping that happens in this session. I haven't seen any pre-filed bills that show that, but probably would be a good question for Guy and Ms. Debbie while we're up there this week.
So can we maybe engage one of our state representative, or even our senator, to try to push that for us, to try to get that rescinded?
Yeah, sure can.
All right.
Yeah, there was conversation about that, and the general consensus is, number one, if they have to do it, they're trying to predicate one guideline. Number two, they are trying to work the legislature to try to change it because of the cost and the logistics and just the whole legality of it. So it was addressed at the conference.
Very good. So we need to stay on that. If you don't mind, Mitch, remind me, we need to send something maybe to our senator or our state reps to try to push that for us. The next thing I had was, and I'll bring it here for a question for Archie. We talked a little bit about spay and neuter again earlier. I'm continuing to get shredded. As y'all know, we had people come and talk to us about the fact that cats are picked up and then they're brought right back and dumped in their communities. So, and I'm trying to figure out how do we stop cats from getting dumped into our community. I know it's supposedly legal for the animal shelter to dump them, but they're dumped without food, they're dumped without shelter, they have no long-term prevention of fleas. So there are some communities that are really getting overrun because they're not breeding, but they're returning these same cats right back to the community. And some kind of way we need to put a stop to that. So my question is, Arch, we talked a little bit about it earlier, that was maybe going to be an effort by the animal shelter, in which, by the way, I absolutely adore Ms. Detillia. I think she's doing an absolute phenomenal job. She's a very intelligent, great person. But I do think, when we went to no-kill shelter, we created a lot of problems. And I think most of us see that. I'm at the point now I'm ready to try to rescind ordinances because we have to figure out a process. Are they working towards a fix?
Yeah, I think the ultimate fix for us is going to be when the new animal shelter is created, right? It's going to give us some more space where we can house the cats and kind of hopefully adopt them out or find some place to bring them, like if there's other entities that want to take them on and move them around the country to adopt out. But the trap, neuter, release ordinance that the parish adopted, I don't remember, it was right when we came in or maybe at the end of Mr. Cantrell's administration when it was done. But yeah, and look, we're seeing it. I know Mark and I have talked to Mayor Claymore about it. There's some issues in North Thibodaux. We've had some people come here. So that's something that we as a group need to figure out, concert with the Animal Shelter Advisory Board. What do we do, right? I know that the trap, neuter, release program was a big part to get us to the no-kill shelter, right? And that's got us some awards. That's, again, I'm with you. I love Hillary. She does a great job with the ladies in the shelter. But there are some after effects that we're hearing about. So we need to pick that ball up and run with it from our end with Mitch and I and try to figure out with Hillary, what do we bring you guys some options, I guess, as to what we can do.
I appreciate it. I mean, it's really, there's one specific lady who's very passionate about this. Cat shows up at her house, she catches it, they return it. The problem is her husband is allergic to cats. The cat's hanging around now and he can't go out his own yard, so what do you do in that? It's not their cat, so it stays at their front door. So anyway, we have got to, as a council including, we got to figure out what we do with this. Mr. Melvin.
Can I please pivot off your point, Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Because here's the thing too, okay? I don't have a problem with cats, okay? My daughter loves cats, but she goes to her mom's house for that. So we don't have a cat in our house. We have a beagle. But I like cats. Hey, look, they're great hunters. I respect them. And a lot of people keep their cats inside, and if they go outside, they watch them. But I know folks who routinely let their cats out just to roam free at night or, hey, come call a cat during the day. And look, there are national statistics, and it was on a talk show years ago, probably in the 80s or 90s. Cats are one of loose, feral cats. Now, I don't care if your cat's wild or not, but they get a wild streak, and then when they're loose, they are one of the most destructive animals to natural wildlife. Songbirds, rabbits, turkeys, a lot of other things. Okay, yeah, they're good for mice. They keep the rats at bay. I get it. That's great. Snakes, etc. But again, I'm seeing it too, and I don't want it to reach an epidemic proportion, which it may have, where we having some serious issues and calls, and people are calling us. And look, I'm not against animals. I mean, I love some of them, and actually some are delicious, okay? Some species, not cats, okay, people? But my point is, again, I just believe that I don't want to see this get way out of hand, and then we forced to do something pretty serious because of this thing we're facing. And again, I have no problem with cats. I just don't like it when I'm getting calls and there's people who are asking for something to change. And again, it's just like dogs on the loose. It's bad owners, not necessarily bad cats, okay?
Yeah, I agree. And look, I don't know what's the worst of two evils. Is it euthanization, or is it, exposing them to no shelter, full of fleas, and no food to fend for themselves? I'm not sure which one's worse.
Do they like both? Do you know if they like purple martins? I know of a couple of places we
Yeah, full of them.
Look, I'm gonna tell you. I'm just gonna tell you since you said it, sir. I had a dead rat. I had our pet rabbit in our yard that hides in my iron grass in the country club. Dead. I mean, picked to the bone. You gonna think another rabbit did that or a dog? No.
Yep, very good. Any further questions for the administration? We'll bring it to discussion, open discussion. Ms. Chesson.
On March 16th at 6 o'clock, there will be a town hall meeting at the Cutoff Youth Center with the Lafourche Parish Fire District to discuss the new millage that is being proposed. That vote is happening on April 27th. So March 16th at 6 o'clock at the Cutoff Youth Center, 205 West 79th Street, to get some of those questions answered and some of the reasons why this millage is being proposed.
Yeah, and I'll put a plug out for them. That group hustled when they lost their hydrants. Basically, they had no water in the entire district for Fire District 3, 0. So when I tell you they had to hustle and work overnight to get water tankers down there, without them, that's how whole communities burned down. So that's a very important group down there. Mr. Adams.
Yeah, I just want to let everybody know the Choctaw World's Fair is coming up next weekend, March 8th, 9th, and 10th. So good food, good music. Come on out, have a good time.
Very good. Mr. President?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So just as a reminder, Thursday night here at 5 or 6, Mitch, the town hall? 5. You guys have seen us put it out. We got another tranche of money for hurricane recovery dollars. The Office of Community Development is making us do another public hearing to figure out what we want to do with those dollars, whether it's recreation, infrastructure. Some of it's hometown, what they call hometown revitalization dollars, which lets us take properties and turn them back into commerce. So we're kind of working through that. I want the public to come out, give us their input. We normally get 2 or 3 people that only show up to these things. It's something they make us do, but we actually want to hear the public's comments. We are working on several appraisals for a few different properties. We had a good meeting with Councilman Adams, Representative Fontenot for a potential recreational field in the Chagbay community. We're working with Mr. Lorraine on a potential commercial site in Galliano that we can revitalize with some of those hurricane dollars. So those 2 projects are coming a long way. As well as hopefully a potential for a golden medal library, but we're waiting for those appraisals to come back hopefully next. I'm hopeful by the end of March. I know, T-Boo, it's coming. For you, Councilman Broomfield, Diplomat Way, that ditch project is underway. They're laying that kind of concrete fiber mat. So Dylan's paying pretty good attention to that one. If it's something that we think could work on Fairway in Miss Patsy's area, hopefully that's something we can run with after that. And we have, like you guys said, Mr. Araby noted, we approved a whole bunch of projects tonight. I'm hopeful by the end of this week, maybe early next week, we'll have an updated status sheet for you on all the buildings and all the projects. We had a great meeting this week with the Roping Club, talking about the rodeo arena as we get closer to, they're driving piles out there right now, just tweaking a couple things on the building so we can accommodate a few other things, ideas that they have, some bigger bleacher sets, stuff like that. So we're rocking and rolling on a lot of these projects. Again, to Ms. Lorraine's point, I know it's been 2.5 years, but we're getting there. So thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, very good. I'll point out 2 of my recreation facility, because I was asked this today, this morning. That was just under 30 years from having groups hustling to try to find location, design, funding, et cetera, for that Lockport Community Center. So just under 30 years to make that happen.
And I will say, Mr. Orman, I'm glad you said that. I forgot about it. I gave Duplantis Design Group the okay to roll with on the next phase of the addition behind the community center, so we can shape the dirt and get those ball fields constructed. So we're
Excellent.
Hopefully going to see that go out to bid the next 30 or 45 days or so.
So while we're talking about ballparks, I mentioned we do have the Easter Extravaganza in Lockport, March 23rd at 2 p.m. at the Lockport, what we call the Holy Savior Ballparks. So free Easter egg hunt. I think we had 12,000 eggs last year, different age groups. So a good time, free refreshments, kettle corn, et cetera. March 16th, which is a date. Okay, Terry just put his light up. I'll let you talk now. Go ahead, Terry.
You can finish. I want to
Go
say
ahead.
something.
Go ahead.
I want to ask Mr. Shasta something.
Go ahead.
Mr. President, can you maybe just give us a little update where we stand?
You know, on if the site is 100 by 100, right? Let us go dig up the garbage in that 100 by 100 square as deep as we need to go, dispose of it the right way, backfill it, drive the piles and build it, and just leave the rest of the site capped. We're trying to figure out a game plan to approach DEQ with that because we don't want to start any other issues or potential issues that, you know, well, did DEQ remember we even had a landfill there to begin with because it's probably been closed longer than I've been alive. So it has been. So we're working through those issues. We're still, it's pretty well designed. We know how to build it. We know what we'd have to do to build it. It's just how do we get the site in the right spot? You know, that doesn't work, then we have to literally go find a piece of property and a willing seller. And in the central part of the parish, there's not a whole lot of people that either want that next to their house. If they're, yeah. So we're working through that.
Next, I was asked if you could poke City Place Apartments, the gate. They don't even close the gate anymore, so vagrants in and out of that rundown structure for the next hurricane. Those communities right on side, it's unfair. We need to move on that. March 16th is the annual bayou cleanup for those that participate in that. So that is right around the corner. So I would respectfully ask anyone that's willing to participate, look it up. It's a Barrett-Terre Terrebonne National Estuary Program, BEATNEP, that kind of organizes it. There are other funding groups. They delivered I understand they delivered today the dumpsters, which was kind of early. I'm hoping that people don't fill them up in conjunction with that effort. And then I'm assuming right beyond that, we'll have the Household Hazardous Waste Day for everyone that's about to start doing their spring cleaning. If you hand on to that, that's going to be
April 27th.
April 27th. So I think we have daylight saving times right around the corner. People start doing the daylight saving time or more time to do spring cleaning. Household Hazardous Waste Day will be here at this place in late April. With that said, and there being no further business on a motion by Mr. Adams, second by Mr. Melvin, and with no further business, the Lafourche Parish Council regular meeting February 27, 2024 will be adjourned at 18:52 hours. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed with 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 vacancy, that vacancy being District 5. Thank you all.